So we're going to be making a socket release keychain, and this is something I thought of a while back, and it's really the original reason that I made the fixture for the 3-jaw chuck. And I put holes in the 3-jaw chuck because I wanted to mount it to the table, but I couldn't because of this thing. Remember that? Go back to that video to see what I meant by that. So I found out that I could just go ahead and mount it straight in the vise. Now I could have made soft jaws to hold the outside of this, but I don't know, it seems easier to use this way and still use this when it's mounted in the vise, clamped on the fixture plate that I made for it. So far it's fairly simple. I freaked out a little bit on the thread milling part, but that's normal. I don't normally like to plunge a thread mill like that really fast into a piece of aluminum, or really any part. I don't know, it still freaks me out to this day to watch the thread mill plunge straight down in. You caught the tail end of the threading part, but that's because I was freaking out. Now, I didn't necessarily mess up, but I didn't put my origin in the right point. You see that there? That's where it thinks it's at, on the bottom side of that. But it really should be like this. That's okay. Quick fix. So that turned out alright after I fixed the program, and it really looks good. This radius at the bottom looks alright. The chamfer up here I sort of fixed. The tip sort of was into the material, I don't know. It worked out though. And I know this is going to scar up the part here, but that's okay. This is still a prototype part, and that isn't really too bad where it scarred that up. There, now you can see it. It didn't scar it up too bad. You can see it right there. Right there. But it really turned out okay. And now we're going to make this part right here somewhere. This is the part that holds the ball bearings, and the ball bearings sort of like hold the release side in so it can't be released. So it's exactly like how your air compressor quick disconnect fittings are. So there it is so far, and it's threaded on there. And I still have to add the holes for where the ball bearings sit. So that'll come later. I'm going to finish everything up with the 3-jaw chuck first, and then I'm going to come back to this. And now we're going to make what I call the slide. The slide is what you pull back to release the ball bearings so you can pull out the opposite side, the release side, I guess is what I call that as well. This one isn't too hard, but it has a little bit of a parallel contour. They call it parallel in Fusion 360. There's a steep angled edge, and I'm going to do that with the 3D machining toolpath, and you'll see that happen with the ball end mill. So now we have it flipped over and we're going to machine this top hat off, and then there's a small pocket on the inside there that we're going to machine out. So here's what we got so far. We have this piece here threaded. We have this piece here and it's threaded on the inside. This piece, the angle right here, that goes up towards the top of that. And this gets threaded on. There'll be a spring in there to keep this slide up like that, but when you pull back on it, that releases the ball bearings. That will put holes in there for the ball bearings, and that will release the ball bearings so you can pull out this side that I haven't made yet. That's next. So this right here is the release side, and I already started machining it, and it's basically the same thing as the other ones, except now it's going to get a slot right around here. Now, I've never used a slotting mill before, and that's the slotting mill. That's what it looks like. Alright, so here is all the parts so far, and this is the release side I just made, and I went ahead and just did the top without showing it because it's the same size, same thing as this one right here. And here it is, and I made that slot and it actually worked out really good. That's the first time I've ever made a slot. Pretty cool. So those edges have to be angled, and I wanted to get a back chamfer tool or a dovetail tool to make like a little lead in right over here. But I decided against that because tools are expensive and this is just a prototype for now, so I can figure out something there and sort of bootstrap that operation. But anyway, this side is the release side, and both of these sides, they'll get a hole through it right here, right here and right here. And so this is going to be up, this goes in there, and when you really pull that back, then the release side pulls out. So that's the thought behind it. So in the next video, I will go ahead and put the holes in this piece right here and then do finish assembly, because I think this one may be running a little bit longer than I had hoped, so we'll go ahead and save that one for next time. So I think we did a good enough job for now, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.